Have you ever had one of those days where everything seems to just go wrong and your fuse gets shorter by the minute? Well, let me share a story about my friend Alex, which might sound all too familiar. Alex is a single mom of 2. She called her life organized chaos, and she felt proud of how she managed work, kids, and everything else. But one day, everything seemed to go wrong, more than usual. It started when her coffee maker broke. No coffee to start the day was a bad sign. Then, her youngest decided the living room wall needed a crayon mural. As if that wasn't enough, the Wi-Fi stopped working right when she needed to send an important work email. Driving to school, the traffic was worse than she'd ever seen. Her kids argued in the back seat over a toy, the clock ticking, making her later by the minute, and the other drivers seemed to forget how to drive. When someone honked loudly right behind her, something inside Alex just snapped. She yelled at her kids in the back seat, something she regretted the moment she saw their surprised faces in the rearview mirror. The rest of the day just felt off. She was short with her colleagues and couldn't focus. Picking her kids up from school, she tried to make things right. She tried a trip to the park, but the guilt from the morning hung over them. That night, after the kids went to sleep, Alex thought about her day. She realized she let her anger get the best of her. She missed the chance to handle things better, to show her kids how to deal with the stress and anger in a healthier way. Now, let me tell you about Chris, a friend who's also a single parent. Chris had a day that started off just as challenging as Alex's. His car had a flat tire. He couldn't find his wallet and he forgot his phone at home. It seemed like it was going to be one of those days where nothing went right. But something different happened when Chris and his daughter were waiting for the tow truck. Chris felt the frustration building up. Normally, he might have let that frustration out by getting upset and stressed. But he took a deep breath, looked at his daughter, and decided to make the best of it. They played I Spy while waiting, turning a frustrating wait into a fun game. Later at work, when Chris faced a sudden problem, he remembered the morning. Instead of panicking, he took a moment to breathe. He calmly looked at the issue, talked it through with his team, and found a solution. It was a reminder of how taking a step back and not letting stress take over can really make a difference. Not just for him, but for everyone involved. Chris's day showed that even when things start off wrong, there is a way to turn them around. It's about choosing to respond calmly and not let anger dictate our actions. This approach not only made his day go smoother, but also set a positive example for his daughter. So, here's the thing about Alex and Chris. They both had super tough days, but the difference is while Alex let her anger out in the moment, kind of like accidentally spilling a drink, Chris did something pretty cool. Right when he was about to lose his cool, he remembered something very important he'd been working on: mindfulness. This little moment made a big difference. Chris managed to keep his calm by taking a deep breath and focusing on what was happening right then. It's like hitting a pause button on his anger, choosing to act kindly instead of reacting. This didn't just make his day better, but it also made nice things with his daughter and everyone else around him. Chris showed us something awesome here. Noticing when you're getting mad, taking a quick time out to breathe, and then picking up a nicer way to deal with things. It's like choosing to walk through a door that leads to a calm room instead of a stormy one. And that's the trick. That's a trick we can all try to remember, just like Chris did. Hearing about Alex and Chris, it's clear that mindfulness isn't just a practice, but a choice. a choice that can transform our challenging days into opportunities for growth and connection. Don't forget to tune in on part 2 for Thursday on Mindfulness for Anger Management, Cultivating Emotional Regulation. We'll explore more ways to integrate mindfulness into our daily lives, turning every moment, good or bad, into a step towards a more balanced, peaceful life. If you'd like to cultivate emotional regulation by practicing mindfulness for anger management, I am sharing additional information in my blog. Head over to www.getpositivelyiinspired.com where you'll find more good stuff and book recommendations. And don't forget to subscribe. There is so much more coming and you won't want to miss any of it. And don't forget, see you on Thursday. Live on purpose!